Hey family, it's Kim Love Jones. I am back. I am back. I am back. I needed to take a minute. I needed to take a little bit of a sabbatical from everything. And I really did take a sabbatical from everything. Like I really, really did. Yes, I'm trying to fix my situation here. Yeah, I really took a sabbatical from everything. It is Kim Love Jones here, a certified relationship coach. And tonight I want to talk about relationships and how sometimes we were made to feel like we were not enough, right? And I realized that I teach men and women about healing. I talk about healing because healing is like extremely important if you're gonna have your best relationship ever. If you're gonna get to the place where you're ready to have a relationship, that's what I'm here for. I'm here to talk about it. So yeah, I am giving it a few minutes for everybody to jump on, but welcome, welcome, welcome. Again, I am Kim Love Jones. I'm a certified relationship coach, and I'm excited. I took a week sabbatical, about a week. I think I was on last Monday, and then for the rest of the week, I shut it down because I just needed a minute to lay before God. I needed a minute to pray. Yeah, that's what I needed to do. Just really pray and be still and be quiet so I could hear what God was trying to tell me and stop all the noise. Because sometimes the noise just is too much and it doesn't afford you to just listen. I needed to just sit and listen. That's what I needed to do. Hey Jen, I see you, baby. How are you? How are you? I see you, my love. How are you, baby? Yeah, so yeah, that's where I am. I'm in this space of, I feel light. I feel good. I was able to hang out with my nephew and his wife, and we were in the city, and it was amazing. And I go to the city all the time for different things, to go see Broadway shows and all of that, right? But they came up this week, well, last week, and we hung out, and it was just amazing. We had such a great time together. Yes, 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 yes. So yeah, so I'm here, Jen, I'm here. I said, let me show up. Let me give people time to get on. Let me give people time to get on and let's get it. But tonight I wanted to talk about the fact that sometimes we just don't feel like we're enough. We've been in and have gotten ourselves into some relationships that were meant to teach us who we were, that were meant to bring us back home to ourselves. We have found ourselves in relationships, honestly, where they didn't appreciate us, they didn't love us, they didn't treat us right? And primarily because they didn't love themselves. And if you find yourself, if I found yourself in a relationship like that and you feel like you are not enough. Hey, Tanya, I see you, my love. How are you, sweetie? How are you? And you find yourself in a relationship and you feel like, or you ever felt like, ever in your life, like you weren't enough. All that was doing was repositioning you to come back home to yourself. That's what it was doing. Earlier today, I had posted a post on another social media platform, and I got a little bit of pushback. I for some reason, well, not just lately, but I'm getting pushback because I'm writing more to women when I write. And it's not that it's not applicable to men, but it's mostly talking to my sisters, like telling women real talk, like how if you want to live your life a certain way, if you want certain things, there are certain things that you're going to have to do. But most of the stuff that I talk to is for men and women, right? It's about healing. It's about being your best self. It's about understanding your worth and your value. The moment that a man and or a woman understands their worth and their value, they stop hanging around and being around low-hanging fruit. Period. It just is what it is. Like when you begin to understand who you are, you stop playing around with people who are not in alignment with you. And I think every time we got rejected by someone, every time somebody hurt our feelings, every time somebody didn't choose us, and again, men or women, right? It should have brought us back to ourselves, and it should have. Can y'all share this video out? Share it out, share it out. I'm going to share it out. I'm telling y'all to share it out, but I'm finna share it out. Yeah, let's do that. Let's do that. Let me share it out. Hold on. Okay. So what it did was it made me, when I think about it, it always, every single time somebody said no to me, every time somebody rejected me, and this is for men and women, it brought me back to myself. It made me go inside. It made me think about some of the choices and the decisions that I have made. It made me think about, why did I choose that person? Where was my head at when I was in a relationship, when I met them? What did I think about myself? And every single time that I have been rejected, what felt like rejection was redirecting me back to me. And if I could be honest with y'all, I needed that. And that's why I personally, and I know that there's a lot of people who, can I be honest? Hey, Coley Cole, I love you. Let me put your, I don't know why it's blocking your comment, my love. I don't know if you got my text message. I text you for your birthday, baby. I text you for your birthday. I love my sweetheart. So, I used to begrudge it, and I used to cry, and I used to be angry, and I would be mad, and I would be upset, and I would be frustrated. And part of the reason why I don't allow myself to be in that space anymore is because I found out that every single time it wasn't working out, it was okay. Yes, I see Coley Cole, you 24. My baby growing, getting old. It always redirected me to some internal dialogue within myself. It always made me come back home to myself. It was so necessary, and that's why I don't begrudge it. Like, sometimes people make you feel like what you wanted and what you needed was too much. And it's not that what you wanted or needed was too much. It was just, you know, they didn't have the capacity for you. And can I be honest? That has got to be okay. That has got to be okay. Because everybody is not where we want them to be. There are some people that just do not, for whatever reason, have the capacity to love you in the ways in which you need to be loved. And I found out that that's not a bad thing. Yeah, do I feel bad about some of the people that were in my life that I allowed into my life? Yeah, I do. Can I be honest? I do. But I don't begrudge what happened, because I realized that the reason why it was like that is because they were never meant for me anyway. Right? And you get to this point in this place in your life when you have to begin to realize that there are some choices and some decisions that we have made that did not align with who we are, what we wanted, or what we needed for our lives. And if I can be perfectly honest with you, that's okay too, because you did not know any better. You did not know any better. Thank you, Tanya, for the rose, my love. Thank you. I'm trying to wait until they send me the flash gold, but you know I gotta wait. And so I really, like, honestly, I finally, like, some years ago, as I was processing my life, one of the things that I needed to understand, and this is why I talk about this, is that nobody broke in my door. Nobody, hey Vincent, I see you, baby, how are you? Nobody broke my door down to come into my life. I let them in. And I let them in without knowing what their values were, because I didn't know mine. I wasn't even checking for core values. What does that mean? I didn't even know what core values were. You said, I'm here, Queen. I see you, Vincent. I see you. I'm so happy to see you here. I really am. I didn't know what... Matter of fact, core values, the subject, having them, it wasn't a thought because I didn't even know, like, it was a thing, if that makes any sense. You know, like, now everybody talks about narcissism and everybody talks about emotional intelligence, and these are things that are coming out now that back in the day we didn't have access to. We did not know when they first, like, I think it was AOL, right? Like, and we just started first getting on the internet. We didn't know how deep this thing was. We didn't know the information that can help us to become better, right? We didn't know. Like, how would we know? Like, think about that, right? That's why it's all about forgiving yourself and forgiving them, because if we didn't know, neither did they, right? And so from my oldest son's father to my ex-husband, and any relationship that I had, even if it was dating someone, just going out on a date. I'm not talking about kissing. I'm not talking about holding hands or smacks. I'm not. I'm just talking about meeting people and not understanding the role that these people played in my life. I'm sitting across the table sometimes from people who never meant me any good, and I could not detect it at the time. Girl, I heard about, I don't know what that's about. Right. Oh my God, AOL, that's funny, right? But how would we know? I got a flash goal, y'all. Okay, three heart me's in 15 minutes. Yes, 3 heart me's in 15 minutes. I don't know what in the world. Can I be honest with y'all? I was off TikTok. Thank you, Tanya. Thank you, baby. I was off TikTok and for the week, and I already know everything dropped and went back and did whatever it was gonna do, because I just needed a week to pray. I needed a week to focus, to shut down the noise. So I wasn't on TikTok, right? But I know that there are some things that have changed, and I know they kind of don't want you to tell somebody to give me a gift. But if they put up a flash goal and they say, your flash goal is this, I don't even know if technically I should say, oh, I got a flash goal of a daily heart me. Can you guys, I need 3 people to send me a daily heart me. Right? Hey, Malika, I see you, baby. How are you? Right? And so I don't know. I'm gonna have to, thank you, sweetheart. Thank you. I am gonna have to go back and go on in these TikTok streets and talk to some of the creators and the people who teach TikTok to find out, because things are changing rapidly out here in these streets. And so I don't know how to go about even saying, y'all, my finger heart is my gift, right? That's the goal I'm trying to reach. I don't know what they want you to do, because I'm not trying to get violated. I got violated for cleaning my glasses, and that was absolutely ridiculous. So I'm trying to, tread lightly. Real talk. I'm really trying to tread lightly. Thank you guys so much for helping me reach my goal. I appreciate it. Y'all know I love it. So, anywho, getting back to what we were talking about. I'm gonna try to find out. And yes, because things are changing, right, Jen? But with that being said, I want to get back to my subject matter. Like, it wasn't that you were too much. It never was about that. It was that they did not have the capacity to walk with you. They didn't have the capacity to love you, right? They didn't have the capacity to show up for you in the ways in which you needed them to show up. They didn't. And if I can be like brutally honest, right, with everybody, like I didn't even know what a core value was. I mean, I knew that there were certain things that I didn't care about, but I didn't understand the label of having core values, right? It's the title of core values. Like, what is that? And then understanding what emotional intelligence was. Like, nobody was teaching that back in the day. How would we know that? I didn't know truly what to look for. Because even though I had my dad until I was 16, 17 years old, I have to also understand that my dad did not have the tools to teach me what to look for in a man. It is only now that we are coming into a higher level of consciousness. And we're learning and we're growing and we're morphing and we're becoming. We were always transitioning. We were always transforming in our minds, even way back then. When your first boyfriend broke your heart or your first girlfriend broke your heart, when you say you liked the girl and she said, no, I don't want to go out with you, I don't like you, and it broke your heart, from elementary school, junior high school, and all of those things, right? Hey, Heart You Sam, I see you, baby. What we learned about pain, but we didn't really know how to deal with it. So for some young men, they got angry. And for some young ladies, they just thought, oh, that's nice, he likes me. And they thought everybody liked them, just because they said that they was cute. But the primary reason why, because we're attracted naturally to one another, but the primary reason why it wasn't crazy. You said, I'm here locked in. I know that's right. What you said, how you doing, baby? Yes, I'm glad you're here. But the primary reason that we were so locked in is because we didn't know how to negotiate relationships. We were too young. But we kept repeating what we felt like the right thing. Hey there, Mr. Rogers, I see you. How are you? We kept repeating the same behavior because we know that we like people. So throughout our teenage years and our young adulthood, you know, we was 19, 20, and you meet somebody and you think, oh my God, this is it. They ask you to marry them. You want to marry them, whatever the situation may be. But we still didn't even really truly understand who we were. So now we're off doing what everybody says we ought to do. Get married, have a couple of kids, do your thing, go to work, get a job. It's like when everybody told you got to go to college and get a degree in order to get a good job. And now you got people, even right here in these TikTok streets, that don't have a degree in anything, and they are making a lot of money and they have freedom. Now things are different. Things have shifted. So we are shifting, not just as a people, but as a nation, right? Like everything is changing right before our eyes. We're growing. Hi, Mr. Fletcher. How are you? I see you. Hi, Wisdom. I see you. We are growing and we are morphing into these emotionally intelligent, wonderful, beautiful people that we never thought possible, or we didn't even know was going to exist when we were 20 years old. That's why I always say forgive yourself. I always say that. Because, like, what did you know? And even when you knew, were you sure about what you knew? For young men, they learn a lot of stuff in barbershops, and for young ladies, they learn a lot of stuff in the beauty salon. Like, you learn a lot of the shenanigans that you know, your thoughts. It's what you saw at home. It is either dysfunction, and maybe it wasn't dysfunctional, but none of your friends, your parents were there in your house, but your friends did not have, their parents weren't together. You saw the brokenness. You saw the broken homes. You believed, okay, well, that happens and that's okay, right? And so everybody then begins to believe that that's normal and customary to relate to one another in whatever ways you learn to relate to someone else. And what ends up happening is we then begin to wash, rinse, and repeat that negative behavior. And the whole idea of all of this is that we would get a host of ourselves and get in alignment with what it is that we really want. And for many years, we did not know what even we really wanted. We had an idea of what we wanted, but we didn't have a roadmap to getting to it. And that was the problem. And therein lies the problem. Right? Because if nobody else can articulate to you how you get to the place that you really want to be in your relationships, then how do you get there? How do you get there? How do you get there now with all of the hurt, all of the pain, all of the old things that we sometimes hold on to unconsciously? Y'all, I gotta... Hold on 1 second. I gotta put on my do not disturb because somebody is going to text me. So the things that we found ourselves doing, right? The things that we found ourselves involved with, we didn't realize at the time that it was mental and emotional and sometimes physical dysfunction that we witnessed that helped to form our mindsets. We didn't realize that even if it wasn't happening in our own homes, that when we went to our neighbor's house and we saw our friends, dad, sloppy, drinking, on, outside on the sidewalk, or drunk in the house, or doing whatever it was that was going on at their house, no judgment. It's normal. This is what you see. And so we don't really understand that a lot of the things that we witnessed as we were growing have informed our decisions and how we deal with things. And so it is my belief. Thank you, Malika. Thank you for the popular vote, my love. Thank you. It is my belief, and this is real talk, that we have to unlearn the stuff that has shown up, right, in our lives, so that we can begin again with new information. And y'all know that I've constantly talked about the rewiring of our thoughts, the rewiring, creating new neural pathways that will help us to think differently about who we are, about what we want, and about what we need, right? So in order to create a new neural pathway, and I'm not trying to sound deep or heavy, I want you to understand that it requires you to shift your mindset. And you have to feed yourself. I give y'all affirmations whenever I get on. You have to literally speak life over your life. You have to call into your life those things that you want. You have to stop allowing the negative things that have happened in your past to affect and inform your decisions moving forward in your life. Like, literally, we have got to begin to shift the narrative in our own mind and begin to change the way that we see ourselves. Because here's what I caught the wave of. It wasn't anybody else who allowed anybody into my life. It was me. And primarily because of the way that I saw myself. It wasn't just the thoughts, though. It was the way that I moved. Have you ever seen somebody, and I'm asking this as a legit question, have you ever seen someone who did not take care of themselves? They put on the same thing almost every day. They never got up. They never really did their hair. They never really took care of themselves. You can see it on them. It doesn't mean that they don't bathe and all this other stuff, right? But when they get dressed, they don't take care of themselves. right? And then there are the people who do all the things, be the face, do all the things, all the things, all the things, but never do anything. Thank you, Lisa. Thank you, baby. That's a sign of depression. Not necessarily, it may very well be depression, but it's also rooted in they don't see themselves well. They do not see themselves. And the issue is because they don't think, real talk, at the root of that, they don't think very much of themselves. And then there are some people who put on all of the accoutrements. You know, me, I'm a jewelry girl. I love costume jewelry. I promise. That is one of my faves. I love me some costume jewelry. The issue is people can adorn themselves outside sometimes, but not be clear about who they are on the inside. The work, the level of work that it takes. Wait a minute, or their mama didn't. You are hilarious. Wait a minute, Lisa. I don't know why it is filtering your comment. This is driving me crazy. Lisa said, or their mama didn't teach them about hygiene. I do not know why it's doing this. And it won't let me unfilter it. It won't let me unfilter it. But the idea behind that is people sometimes do not take care of themselves. But let's not talk about what we see, the grunge look, right? Or let's not talk about how somebody adorns themselves on the outside. Let's talk about the fact that sometimes all of the adornment in one way or the grunge look in the other way doesn't speak to the neglect that's going on that we do to ourselves. When we don't adorn the inside, when we don't do the work on ourselves, when somehow, some kind of way we know the truth, we know, let me be honest, we know, even if it's a very faint voice, that we deserve something so much more. Even though it might be, you know, a little something going on in your spirit, man. It's like, wait, this is not okay. Some people hide behind it. Yeah, they do. Yeah, they do. I'm trying to still get this comment. Oh, God. Okay, what does it say? Okay, I think it's saying approved comment. Yes, approved comment. Oh, I got it. Okay, now I can do it. I figured out another way to do it. Thank you for the daily heart me. Thank you, baby. Thank you. But you get what I'm saying? Sometimes it's a matter of, and this is real talk, oh, edit goal? Why is it telling me to edit goal? Okay. I don't know why it's telling me to edit goal. How about I don't want to? I like what I got. I like my little finger heart for right now. Let me pin that. Okay. I don't know why it's telling me to edit the goal. But the bottom line to all of this, if I could be perfectly honest with you, is the idea that as long as you think, as long as you've heard, like, you're just doing too much, you're too emotional, you know, you're just too much for me, or, you know, I don't think I'm good enough for you because you reached the daily heart me goal. Oh, is that what it is? Thank you, Miss J. I see you. I've been through depression and I didn't care about anything. My house, my appearance, all of that. Yes. And sometimes that's just, like, depression is real. It's a real thing, right? But sometimes for some people, that's just how they live their whole entire life. Either they over the top in their dress and they all of it, or either they doing like grunge or something. And listen, grunge was a real thing. It's a real thing. Like, it's still going on right now today, right? And it doesn't, but what's more important than what's going on the outside is what's happening on the inside. If somebody tried to make you feel bad for being the amazing, caring, intuitive, generous person that you've been and that you are, and you internalize that, and you then begin to think that you're either too much, and you begin to dim your own light, or that you're not enough. You understand? Because they walked away, because they rejected you, because they didn't think very much of you. And again, I'm talking to my brothers and my sisters that are watching, because I need everybody to understand that that was never the case. And anybody that rejected you or made you feel like whatever, right, whatever it was, anybody who did that to you, hear me when I tell you, they did you a favor. A lot of people, oh, Nicole, you going bowling? Okay, baby. A lot of people don't love themselves or put themselves first. Exactly. Exactly, Lisa. Exactly. And one of the key things that is extremely important is that you begin to understand who you are, and understand that their rejection of you, who you are, who you were, all of that was redirecting you to come back home to yourself. So earlier today, I started to tell this story a little bit ago. Earlier today, I posted this post on another platform, and one of the guys, it was really about technically women saying to women, like, take care of yourself, stop doing the drama, stay single, stay celibate if the man is inconsistent, if the man doesn't do what he, needs to do, blah, 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 blah. And it was going in. And I promise, every time I post something, specifically to my sisters, there's always some pushback from brothers about how, thank you, Melindy, thank you. I see you, baby. You seen it, Tanya? Right. And so there's always pushback from brothers, and I was like kind of tight, but I had time, right? And I was kind of tight, but I had time for it today, and I kind of went in, right? We're not meant to be alone. And do not ever, and if that's where you want to be and that's where you are in your life, that is perfectly fine. That is fine. Be wherever it is that you need to be, because different people need different things at different times in their lives. But one of the issues for me is that we get stuck. And we believe that because we've poured into other people, we just kept pouring in spite of the fact that they didn't love us, in spite of the fact that they didn't treat us right. We just kept pouring because somebody made you believe that, oh, there's no perfect relationships. That's the first thing. Everybody's flawed. That's the second thing. That's fine. Agreed on both, right? But people, this is how relationships are. I draw the line at that particular statement. I draw the line. What I think is that people are being lazy. And people don't want to invest. And I'm not talking about money. I'm talking about doing the work of investing into the person you say that you want to be with. People get afraid and they back up because it's too intense for them, or they get into a relationship with somebody, and when they realize that this person is emotionally intelligent, they find out, wait, I'm not just going to be able to go in here and hit this and quit this. Like, they realize that in order to get to a certain point with you, it requires them to level up. Most people are too afraid to level up. They don't want to do all of that hard work and feel like they got nothing from it. And so people don't want to invest in relationships these days. But until you meet, and this is for men and women, until you meet the person that is consistently and intentionally showing up for you in every way that you and them need, right? Both of you need to show up for one another. Then don't waste your time casting your pearls before swine. And I say that because, like, literally, we all should have had enough by now. We all need to be doing the introspection by now. We all need to take our time to try to figure out what it is that we really want and need, so we can stop playing small and being in the company of people who are not in alignment with you. It's as simple as that. You don't have to cast down the whole entire lot of men or women, right? You don't have to do that. You want to only be around people that are in alignment with you. And I'm not always talking about people who do not challenge you, because we need to be challenged. Iron sharpens iron. We need people in our lives that will challenge us to get better. What we don't need is people who are not in alignment with what it is that we really want. Because I can tell you for sure that what I need is true intimacy. And I mean that in the mental and emotional way, not in the physical. Although everybody wants that too, and that's fine. I ain't mad about that. Here's my point. If I can't open up to you, if I can't allow myself to be vulnerable, if I don't feel safe in your presence, if I feel like you're going to do something that's going to hurt me, and I'm in this relationship not operating from a place of pain, I'm operating in the space of love. And if I am operating in the space of love, and I see you showing up for me in all of the ways that are intangible, the things that you cannot touch, right, with your physical hands. But if I see that you are showing up in intangible ways, and I feel like I can lean and depend on you, like you have my back, and I begin to feel safe, it changes the entire game. And here's my advice to both men and women. If you are intentional about what it is that you want and need, then do not in any way. Thank you, Malika. Thank you. Thank you for lighting up the finger heart for me, baby. I appreciate you. If you find yourself, and this is real talk, being in the company of somebody and you feel like you're questioning who you are, you're questioning whether or not this relationship is for you, you're up in the air, there is no clear direction, you don't know what they want, and you don't even know what you want, you know, you're not 100% sure in that. Take a moment to dial it back. Understand what you want and need first, so you will understand whether or not you're even going in the right direction. But sometimes we're so excited because somebody thinks that we're beautiful or we're handsome, and they're checking for us and they're making sure we good. For the women talking to the men, did you eat any lunch today? I'm over here and I'm cooking whatever, and I can bring you some so you can take it to lunch tomorrow. That makes a man feel like, oh, that woman's really looking out for me. But where is she going? What is it that she wants? If you want a wife, if you want your good thing, then being with a woman who is not wife material is not going to work for you. If you want a husband, right, and your husband, the guy that you're with, doesn't even want to be a husband, he has no idea what it means, he doesn't understand the value of women in general, like he understands what a woman can do for him, in an intimate, sexual way, but he doesn't understand how a woman enhances his life, he's probably not the guy for you. I'm not saying 100% that he wouldn't be the guy, because that's, y'all, we hit 11,005. Yes, thank y'all for tapping it out for me. I appreciate y'all. Y'all are tapping it out. Hey, Telly Tell, I see you, my love. How are you, baby? I see you, my sister from another mister. Well, let's get married. Perez, you are funny. Perez, you are so funny. But you know, but a man has to want to be a husband, just like a woman wants to be and is a wife, right? Like, it's different. But you gotta want to be that. You gotta want to have that. Girl, I finally got my bed back tonight. Oh my God. My nephew and his wife was in my room. I was like, I gotta get in my bed. Oh my God. I gotta get in my bed. Thank you so much for joining my fan club, Mrs. J. I appreciate you, baby. Thank you for the Griff Melon Lee. I see you. She sent the dolphins. Thank you, baby. So y'all share this live out. Talk is real. Talk, my love. True. Talk. Amen. Moni. Hey, good evening, Moni. I see you, baby. I see you. Y'all share out the live. I'm going to share it out. Hold on. Let me share it out. Because I need to share this. Let me see. Okay. People probably think I haven't been on all week. My nephew was here, but I was in prayer, and I was just literally, I was, oh, Tanya, you're already here. I was in prayer all last week. I was just trying to be still and just hear the Lord, the voice of the Lord for my life, for a lot of things, right? I was just praying and being still. That's what I was doing, yeah. Because I needed to do that. I said, I'm getting off TikTok, and I'm just going to shut down everything, right? And take a minute. A little sabbatical. I needed it. But yeah, so my point in everything that I was saying was, you get to this point in your life when you begin to understand that you're worth more than anything that they were able to give you. And you begin to understand that actually they did you a huge favor when they didn't accept you, when they rejected you. I want us to reframe tonight our thinking. That's what I want to talk about. Like, doing too much. So can we talk about that tonight? Let's talk. Thank you for the popular vote, my love. Thank you. I appreciate you. Know your pause and what truth is. Sins are forgiven. I hear my child. Glad you did that for I needed to do it, Moni. I did. I needed to shut it down. I did. I just need to go lay before the Lord and just kind of chill out and pray and get the pee together. Because up here, I was like, Lord, right here, Lord, show me, lead me, guide me. That's it. That's it. So I want to reframe the language, the mindset. Like, the mindset that had you, number one, let me be clear, I'm going to go on both sides of this thing. But number one, treating somebody that was not your husband, even your fiance, even your wife, like they were, they weren't, but you were treating them like they were, was out of bounds. I'm so glad you did that. I hope you feel refreshed and closer to him. Yes, thank you, Jules. Yes, I do. I feel good. I feel good. I feel like I did exactly what I needed to do. In fact, in obedience to what I was told to do. In obedience. Not even like I was like, oh, I'm just going to go and lay, no. So I needed that. Thank you, child, being, okay, I don't know what you're saying. Yes. So I have to listen because I was given a mandate. So I act like, oh, I just came up with this brilliant, no. No, I would have kept going. And you know what I thought about? Can I be honest with y'all? And this is funny, but it's really not funny. I said, I'm going to lose. I said to God, I promise. I said, I'm going to lose my league status. I just made it to C4. Y'all pray for me. That is not funny, but I promise. I was like, now? Like, not even TikTok? It's like, so it really wasn't me. It was a mandate, and I needed to get low. I needed, right. But that's what, for real, Jules, that's what I promised God came. Oh, so you think I ain't controlling even? Oh, okay. Like, like I'm being honest. It's funny, and I'm laughing about it, but that was real. But it was real, and I'm just telling all on myself, because you're like, oh, I'm just gonna lay before God. No, usually it's because there is a real, real mandate for you to do just that. Like, he was like, what? Like, wait a minute, level up. He's like, wait a minute, exactly. Oh, so it's TikTok over here. Oh my God. That is hilarious. And no, it wasn't. It was just like, God, I just got to C4. I'm just being honest. Exactly. That's like, right. Exactly. See, y'all know. Okay. So, yeah. Yeah, that part. That part. So I'm just being honest. Confession is good for the soul, but bad for the reputation, honey. Be like, oh, so you want to get on TikTok and you want to. It's not. It wasn't like that, but it's funny because I am hilariously funny. I think I'm funny anyway. I don't know what y'all think, but real talk, like it be serious, right? And I was like, okay. And he said, and I'll replace everything that you even thought you lost. Like who? Like it was. I'm not gonna get deep and heavy into that, but. Real talk. I feel like my marriage is falling apart. I can't recognize that I can recognize that our communication needs work. Yes. And can I tell you something, Mandy? While you have the opportunity, talk. Just talk. Ask God to be in the midst of a conversation, to open up your ears, his ears to hear. So that y'all can hear each other from a posture and a position of love. I don't know how to do that. What don't you know how to do? Thank you for the rose. Thank you, Mandy. You don't know how to do what, my love? Communicate my feelings without anger. Oh, okay. So we got to learn that real quick. For real. Because what is that about? If you're struggling, and this is for everybody that's watching, if every time you go to communicate it, you're doing it because you're on 10, and you never want to communicate when you're at like a level 1, level 2, but you want to communicate when you're at 10, and at 10, you are about to rip the roof off the whole entire house. That is not beneficial to you or to your relationship. It's not beneficial. And Mandy, can I tell you something? And this is real talk. If you allow yourself to get there, do you know what you're actually allowing to have happen in your body, in your physical body? Do you know that you're raising your blood pressure? Do you know that your heart begins to race out of control? Do you know that you're causing your body to create disease because of your dis-ease, your inability to handle what it is that you're feeling? So perhaps my nervous system is out of absolutely. And you need to grab a hold of why you feel like you're spiraling out of control. Because honestly, that's no good. No, your marriage might be operating at a deficit because of your lack of control, and you know it already. It would be one thing if you didn't realize that, but you realize it, and that's half the battle, is acknowledging where the problem is, because maybe you're not being open and honest. When you're not on 10, maybe your voice feels like it's silenced. Why do you feel like your voice is silenced? Why do you think you can't just lovingly speak the truth about how you feel? Maybe the space wasn't created before, but you can create the space. Because we don't always have to be on 10. Sometimes we operate on 10 or 10,000 for some of us, right? Because we feel like that's what gets us the results that we want, but it doesn't. Those are short-term results. It's not going to give you the lasting thing that you need. Everything you do, as best as you can, needs to be done in love. And if there's no love in being on 10 or 10,000, then scale it back, and you get to do that. You get to retrain. You get to rewire. You get to create new neural pathways that lead you to the life that you genuinely want. You don't have to stay there. Sometimes we make choices to stay there. But we thank you, Mandy. Thank you so much for the summer sun. You don't have to stay there. Sometimes we want to stay there because that's all we've ever known. But that doesn't mean that it serves us to be there. I hope that makes sense. Because if it's causing you, if the dis-ease that you feel in your life is causing your body to react and respond a particular way, then you need to rethink, because it's not just hurting them and hurting the relationship. It is physically hurting you to be on 10. That's why people, when they get angry and upset, tend to have other, immediate heart attacks, strokes, all of that stuff, because of the pressure that they're up under. So the question is then, Mandy, the question is, do you want to be loved? Do you want to be liked? Do you want your relationship to resemble something that you believed it always should have been? It is your choice and your decision, and it starts with you changing the narrative. Hey, Luna, I see you, baby. Thank you for the daily heart, me. I see you, my love. How are you? Yes. It starts there. It starts there. What do you want? What do you want it to look like, baby? It's your choice. It's your decision. Nobody's going to make you. But how do you see yourself? If you were to be able, Mandy, specifically for you, if you were to be able to change anything about your life, and this is not for TikTok, write it down on a piece of paper. If you were to change anything and wanted to change anything about your life, write it down on a piece of paper. What would it be? What would it be? What do you want? What do you want your life to look like? And to understand that you are a co-creator with God to create the life that you want. And you do not, in any way, shape, form, or fashion, have to continue on in the ways in which you have been operating in your life all of this time. And he is amazing. Let me tell you, I feel like I don't deserve him. I want to start loving myself. There you go. If that's the decision that you made, what does that look like to you? What do you have to let go in order to get to where it is that you want to be? What do you have to release? in order to have the life that you want. And do you get to choose? Or are you letting your emotions choose for you? Hey, Candy girl, I see you. Or do you get to choose what's the life that you want for yourself? Because it's important. But can I tell you, Mandy, you only one decision away. A big thing is control. I need to let go. Yeah, because I just had a conversation with somebody earlier about this. Because guess what? Can I tell you something? You don't control anything anyway. It's like you plugged into the matrix or something and you believe that you do, but you don't. You don't. And I know a lot of people say, no, but if something drops on the floor, I control it. I can go pick it up. No, you can. But you're not the controller of the be all or end all. If you want to be happy, it's about surrender and release. It's about surrender and release. And not to man, to God. Not to man, to God. Ask God to come into your heart, real talk, and help you. Because you're used to being this person. And if you're ready to let it go, let it go. You are powerful. And you get to choose love every single time. You get to choose peace. You get to choose joy. Thank you, Tanya, for the club cheers. Thank you, baby. You get to choose. You're one decision away. Just choose you. Just choose you. That's what you do. And then you get up tomorrow morning and choose you again. And choose you. Thank you, Luna. Thank you, baby. Let it go. Having my peace and joy. Just loving it, too. Absolutely. Choose you. Thank you, Heartsome. Thank you, baby. Thank you for the rose. Thank you. I appreciate you for the roses, sweetheart. Right? Thank you, Mandy, for the rose. Thank you, my love. Thank you, baby, for the daily heart. Me, I appreciate you. I appreciate you. So, yeah. So, yeah. Choose you. Thank you, Mandy, for the daily heart, me, sweetheart. I appreciate you. I appreciate you. I really do. So making that decision for your life. Thank you, Candy Girl, for the rose. Y'all are so sweet. I appreciate y'all so much. So making a decision, like it's like you get up on the wrong side of the bed. Y'all know how you do that, right? And you're just like having a bad, you wake up and you're a little, thank you, Moni, for the rose. Thank you so much. Now you get up on the wrong side of the bed and you go, oh, I'm so tired. I'm aggravated. I don't feel like doing this today. I don't feel like going to work today. I don't feel like doing nothing. I just want to do that. You really do get to choose that. You really do. You also get to say, I am so grateful that I woke up this morning. I am so grateful that my children are okay. I am grateful that I have a roof over my head. I am grateful that I am breathing this beautiful air. I am grateful. So you get to make a choice every day about where it is that you want to be. And when you choose gratitude, you're choosing yourself. Oh yes, I do wrong side. Yeah, right. I did too all the time. I did too. Thank you so much. Ashe, is that, wait a minute. You changed your name. Wait a minute. Darlene, is that you? Because I'm like, wait a minute. Ashe, and thank you, and thanking him for waking me each and every day. Yes. And you know what? And it really is a decision. And at first you might have to think about, like, what do I want to think about? Like, how do I, if you're getting up on the wrong side of the bed. But I promise you, I did laugh a lot. It's Tony, because I was like, wait a minute. I'm like, wait, who is that? Because I know that face. I know that picture. I didn't pull up your profile. Hi, baby. I'm so happy to see you. I pray all is well. I've been thinking about you, sis. I've really been thinking about you. Yeah, so the idea is that every day I get to choose myself. And gratitude, having gratitude, a grateful heart, that is choosing you. That's choosing you. I know what it could have been. I know what I wanted it to be. I know what it's not. But I am still grateful. I am so grateful. And I just thank God for all. Thank you, Tony. Thank you, baby. Ashe, I'm sorry. I thank you. Thank you, my love. Thank you. But coming to terms with who you are and what it is that you want and you need for your life. Like, coming to terms with how to approach and rewiring your brain, rewiring your heart, rewiring your thoughts, seeing yourself is even more than you've ever seen yourself before. Y'all share this video out. Share it out. Let me share it out again. I'm going to share it out again. Look. I'm sharing it out. Yes. Okay. Hold on. Okay. Yeah, I just needed to share that out again. But you get to the point. Thank you for the follow, Felix. I appreciate you, sweetie. Thank you. You get to the point when you begin to realize that you really do control what you want for your life. You really do get to control it. Like, you really do get to show up for yourself. And that's a way that you can always show up for yourself, right? Thank you, Malika. I see that. I heart you. I love that. Okay, thank you, baby. Thank you so much. Like, you showing up, like, understanding, like, all I gotta do is say, you know what? Instead of being angry, frustrated about what happened yesterday, waking up on the wrong side of the bed, whatever the situation is, like, you really do get to control how you see things. Can I tell y'all something? And this happened many years ago. I had a Toyota Camry, a gold, and I love Toyotas, but that's a whole nother talk show, right? Thank you, Malika. Thank you, baby. Thank you. And I was out at the shopping mall, and it was around Christmas time, and it was a lot of traffic in the parking lot, and the person began to back up, and they hit like the back panel of my car, right? It was like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. I didn't see you. This gotta be 25 years ago. This is before they had the backup rear view, all this other business, right? Y'all, they giving me a puzzle. Hold on. And it was a tiny little dent in my car. It wasn't much. And I was like, oh, I'm so sorry. I said, you have a blessed day. Merry Christmas. And I just got back in my car. And they were like, oh my God. And I was like, no. Because I make decisions. Like, everything, like, it's an accident for a reason. And I'm not saying let somebody tear up your whole car and, and then you walk away. No. There's a little tiny dent. They didn't see me. I wasn't about to go nuts, even though I don't like going out during the holiday season and shopping. I made a decision. My decision was to just be kind and let it go. It didn't do that much damage to my car. And I'm going back at least 25 years, but it doesn't matter. The point is, I get to choose that. every day I get to choose kindness, I get to choose love, and I wasn't even as deep as I am now with that, but I do realize that I can raise sand if I want to, but I do get to choose love. I get to choose peace. I get to choose joy. I get to bless people in spite of what they do. I don't always have to take the road just because you invite me to something that is basic. I don't have to be basic. And the person was looking at me like I was crazy because I was like, just be blessed, be safe. Like, that's the attitude I had. And they was clearly in the wrong, but that's not the point. I still chose love, peace, joy. Like, it's not that serious. It's not like my car don't run. It's not like, and not that I didn't love my car, because I love my car. That wasn't the point. I wasn't going to tear them completely down over something they made a mistake. Legit. Now, I may not be as kind and as loving and as generous if somebody was to verbally assault or attack me physically. I'm telling you, it was a genuine accident. And we get to choose how we show up in each and every situation and circumstance. We get to choose it. And I don't care what anybody else said. No, because they came up and they did this and they did that. Got you. But you get to choose how you deal with it. That's the bottom line. What do you want it to be? How do you want to render? How do you show up? Do you want to be angry every day? Because you can do that. You can do that. And I'm sure you'd be pretty good at it too. You want to be sad every day. What exactly is it that you want? So I'm going to get back to reframing our thinking, because I think that this is really, really important. The idea. You know how you do too much for somebody when you just pouring and pouring and you just pouring and you just pouring and you just giving and giving and giving of yourself. And somewhere in the middle of you doing, sometimes you get blessed out of the things like that accidentally. Yes. And it doesn't necessarily have to come from the person who hit you. Right? Yeah, I need some water. I apologize. I needed some. And it don't necessarily have to come that way. But let's just say, for the sake of argument, you just keep pouring and pouring and pouring. Excuse me, because you saw your grandmother, your mom, continuously pouring into you. So not only is it part of your DNA, I drank too much water too fast now. Ooh. Now, as a direct result of that, you've seen this before. You've seen, no matter what the situation or circumstance, you saw Nana, you saw Grandma, you saw Mom, you saw your sisters, you saw your older sisters or older brothers doing certain things that they supposed to do. And so it looks like to you that no matter what's going on, you continue to operate and you continue to pour and you continue to give. The only thing is you didn't see the other side, where there was no, in your particular case, there's no reciprocity. You're doing too much. The reason why I want to talk about this today is because a lot of times we give people we at 20K, let's go. Cha-cha. So sometimes we literally are giving people access to us. We're giving them more than they've ever given us. And it's out of balance. And you know that it's out of balance. And the reason why you know that it's out of balance is because the more you keep pouring, the more depleted you feel. You're doing too much. The reason why you feel depleted is because nobody's pouring into you. Because of that, you're out of balance. The relationship is out of balance, but it's more than that. You're out of balance. Because Spirit knows about the inequity. Spirit knows that the relationship is not equitable. And it doesn't speak to you any longer. So what we do is, because we've been taught, and so I wanna help you to reframe your thinking tonight. I want you to think about this. When you think, I am just gonna do everything to make this person, these people, because it could be your kids, okay? Don't have to be your romantic love interest. It could be your kids. I just want to make my kids happy. I just want to make my man happy. I just want to make my woman happy, right? And you know that it's too much because you don't feel good about it. It's nice to say my mother did, or my woman did, or my man did. But if there is no reciprocity, then that is not going to work over the long term. And reciprocity doesn't necessarily mean if you wash my dishes that I put in the sink, I'm going to wash your dishes that you put in the sink. It doesn't mean that necessarily. It means in the other ways that I cannot show up and do certain things that you fill in the gap for me. And that can look like, and that's how reciprocity can show up and look for all of us, right? Thank you, Tanya, for the rose. Hi, Miss B. I see you. But we gotta reframe our thinking, because what is it inside of us that makes us feel like performing is good? That's the question. That's the question. Hey, Reese, I see you, baby. Reese came flying in here. Hey, my love. What is it? The recognition that you wear a cape? Thank you, Malika. Thank you for the finger hearts, my love. Thank you. Thank you so much. Is it the recognition that I was the one who did it? Is it that? Is it that? I'm asking. Y'all don't have to answer on TikTok, but y'all can comment if you want. What is it that has you believing that you need to have an S on your chest? And nobody doesn't have to have an S on their chest for you. Like, who told you that? Did you learn that? Look at Reese. Thank you for the daily heartbeat, Reese. I appreciate you, my love. I see you, babe. I missed you on the prayer call this morning. Wanted him to love me. I gave, and gave. Yeah. And that's out of order. That's completely out of order. And Candy Girl, no, I hear you, because I did it too, so I'm not, oh, if you're like, yeah, girl, that was completely out of order. No, I did it too, and that's why I'm speaking to this. And I've been moving in this way, even in my friendships. I literally, Moni, did you get your daily heart meat, my love? I saw it as a child everywhere. Right. Everywhere. Big Mama did it. Nana did it. Grandma did it. And that could be all three people. That could be one person. Big Mama, Grandma, right, Nana. All the same person. It don't matter how you identify. Then you seeing your mother do it. Whether your mother was with your mother was with your father or not. What I've witnessed is that we as women feel like we have to perform in order to be loved. One of the first things that men usually ask if they start to even think about considering you to be in a relationship with, one of the things that men ask is, can you cook? But Kim, that's an essential thing. Everybody has to eat, but they asking you specifically if you can cook. They haven't even taken you out on a date yet. They haven't done, hello, Candy Girl, say so. Okay, that's what I'm talking about, boo. Ain't nobody playing. Real talk. So they ask you that, and they haven't done, and women ask men for certain things too. We're going to circle back to that. But they haven't even asked you out on a date. Like, you want to know if I'm going to get in line with whatever it is that you think the perfect wife or woman is. And we haven't even gone out on a date. So my standard answer, can I be honest with y'all? You know, I told y'all confession is good for the sober, bad for the reputation. I usually say, no, I can't cook. And I be meaning it. And I throws all the way down. But I say immediately, like, nope, can't cook. You know what? I know how to make real good reservations. Because what I find is that is, okay, so turn off for right now. And the reason why, thank you, Reese, thank you, baby. The reason why this, hey, Dr. Yolanda, I see you, baby, how are you? The reason why this is important, and I need to say this how I need to say it, is because sometimes women believe that if I can perform and show them my value and my worth, then they'll choose me. And can I tell you, sis, if they can't see it in you, they should not even be in your company, nor should you be in theirs. Understand, you know the Spirit by the Spirit. I don't know why sometimes we lose all sense of ourselves when it comes to choosing life partners. When it comes to choosing who we want to go out on a date with. When it comes to choosing and making a good decision around the relationship, the person, the partner that we want to spend our time with. Hey, Faith, I see you. How are you? Why is it that we keep making we lose all sense, and this is real talk, of who we are and what we need? Oh, thank you, Faith. I see you. Thank you. Thank you for the daily heart me, Dr. Yolanda. Yeah, why do we lose a sense of self? Just because we met somebody. I guess I wanted things to work out so bad and could have, but that's a story for. Okay, yes, but Candy Girl, you're not alone, my love. Thank you, Malika. Thank you, baby. Thank you so much. You're not alone. We all, listen, sis. We've all done it. That's why we can all attest to it. Yes, 80% of my finger heart goes. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Y'all are so dope. Y'all are so dope. Thank you so much, Malika. I appreciate you. I appreciate Tony. I don't know where she went. I don't know if she's here. Right? But I just got comfortable and didn't want to be alone. Yes. Yes. That's real. I think we lose self because we have yet to heal completely before we go into it. Exactly. So this is what so let me finish at this point because I'm almost done. Capacity doesn't equal compatibility, right? Somebody can like you and still lack the emotional bandwidth to love you the way that you deserve to be loved. Your emotional depth, standards, and voice are not liabilities. They're filters. Hear me. In order to get to where it is that you want to be and away from the performing part of the relationship, you have to be so mentally and emotionally and spiritually free within yourself that you're not afraid of anyone. That you want them to see you and know your spirit by the Spirit. Because what's going to happen is, as you begin to take this journey and as you're healing even right now, you have to rewire your thought process around performing for people to get them to like you. And the only way to do that is to get comfortable within your own self. To be comfortable with who you are and love yourself. You know, I laugh loud, y'all. I'm pretty loud, and y'all know I don't really care. And I also think I'm funny. Like, I got jokes, right? And so I know who I am. And I used to, when I was about in my early 20s, I was like, God, why do I have to be so loud? I hated being so loud. But I'm loud. I'm just loud. I am, you know, it is what it is. I'm just loud. But I always wanted to have like that little tiny, you know, feminine voice. I don't have that voice. That's not my voice. That's not who I am. But the reason why I'm saying this to you all is because of this. Because I so love every part of my loud, laughing, silly, like to have fun self. I didn't always love who I was. I didn't. Yeah, right, and yes, you are helping me to do that healing journey within myself, and that, yes, because what I'm finding is, hi Lakeisha, I see you, how are you? What I'm finding is that I really genuinely like myself, and when you stop performing, and stop trying to hide the most beautiful parts of who you are, your life begins to change. When you start accepting yourself, other people accept you. They see you hiding. They know you're funny. They know that you're beautiful. They also know that you're flawed. And when you stop hiding the pieces of yourself that make you beautiful and start accepting them as your specific uniqueness, the beauty of who you are. And you stop being afraid to show up in spaces and in places in honor of that woman, that man. When you start doing that, you show the world your brilliance and your bright light. You will never, ever too much. You just weren't supposed to be doing too much for someone who never reciprocated your energy. And the reason why it's so scary is because most people only know the parts of you that they want to see, which is to serve them, because you've been performing. And sometimes it is very hard to stop performing and show up authentically as you are. Because sometimes we believe the press that we're not enough. And we act like we're not enough. And we try to hide the very things that make us beautiful. And we have to get away from that, because that's robbing us of our joy. You have to reframe your thinking. You don't have to be out here in these streets performing for somebody to love you. When you begin to love yourself, when you begin to accept yourself, you show up differently. Thank you, Dr. Yolanda. Thank you. If they can't accept you with your flaws and all, they're probably not the person for you. There was someone on here earlier, I don't know if she's still on. I'm not even going to call her name because of it. But part of the reason why we're so angry and we be frustrated and we don't even understand why is because we deny ourselves what we need to appease everybody else. And can I be honest? That might work temporarily, but it doesn't work over the long haul. It doesn't. Don't you know how amazing and beautiful you are? Just like that. You don't have to dress it up. You don't have to try to make it pretty. You don't have to shift or change or morph into anybody else to try to fit into their version of who they think you are. You don't have to do that. All you have to do is show up understanding who you are, your worth, and your value. Who are you? That's the question that I want you to ask yourself at your core. If you can have anything, if you can do anything, if you can be anything, how do you want to render in the world? Because what you have to know, trying to make everyone happy and forget about self along the way, just forgot about me. Yeah, well, hello, Candy Girl. Hello, welcome. Welcome, sis. I see you. And we're not forgetting about ourselves anymore. That's what we used to do. We're not doing that anymore. What I'm talking about is a rewiring of your thought processes. I'm talking about a rewiring and understanding and a knowing of who you are. What I'm talking about is reintroducing yourself, Candy Girl, to yourself. Who are you? What's important to you? What do you need? I want to be so cold, I promise you, out here, that I have to reintroduce myself to myself. Listen. Yes, there you go. There you go, hearts. There you go. Thank you, Malika. Thank you for the heart fingers, for the finger hearts. Thank you, baby. Because I need for you to really truly understand, like, just how important your voice is, just how important you are. Hey, Exquisite, I see you, my sister. Just how important you are. You don't have to perform for people. What you doing? What you doing, sis? What you doing, bro? You think that's all you worth is when you serving somebody else, you don't matter? That's a lie. Because you matter. I know you exhausted from performing. Thinking that if you just keep performing, if you just keep buying, if you just keep giving, if you just keep doing this, serving, and doing all of those things, somebody's going to love you. Well, no. What I need you to do is recognize that you need to love you. You need to recognize you, reintroduce yourself to yourself. You don't have to hide. You flawed. We all know it. We are fearfully and wonderfully made. Yes, Moni. Yes, we are. Yes, we are. Absolutely. How long are you going to play small? How long are you going to keep performing for somebody to love you? And I mean this for my brothers too, if they are watching. I mean it. And the reason why I say it is because men are always performing to get to the hearts of women. But I promise you that if you just show up consistently being your amazing and wonderful self, my brother, she gonna love you. And I always tell my brother, stop trying to take everybody to Ruth Chris. And the reason why I say this is because they fall in love with your hand and not your heart. Who are you? Who are you? At your core. And that's what this is all about. We perform for people that like us. But the right people will love us when we are open, when we are honest, when we are genuine, when we are authentic, when we stand in that space. The right people are going to love us. We are not for everybody, and we have got to be okay with that. I love this. I'm about to pop out soon. I'm healing, working on me. I know that's right, Hunter. Thank you, baby. I appreciate you. I'm mad you're about to go to fall in love with your hand and not your heart. Yeah. Because that's what people do. They fall in love with what you can give them. For both men and women. They fall in love with what you can give them. And what you're going to do for them. And I am so over men, or males, asking, what do women bring to the table? I'm just tired of it. Don't you know you're supposed to bring the table and set the table up? And she gonna add to that table what needs to be added. But she is not to be bringing the table and setting the table and, like, who told y'all that? You're supposed to have yourself established just like she needs to have herself established. Can we be honest? Let's be honest. She been working on herself. You working on yourself. Y'all come together. What are you talking about, table? My answer, I am the table, and there's no seat here for you. I know that's right, Malika. What you say? Yeah, because if you asking that question, it puts women off. It should put a man off, too. Like, what are you bringing to the table, sir? Like, really? Like, women are maybe not asking it, that question, but when it was like, oh, you need to have this, and this. Listen, be careful. Because that's not all that you need. It's like men say, I need to be respected, right? But we don't just need love. We need respect. We need honor. We need, we need all of the other attributes, right? Like, so sometimes we get so much in the weeds with you got to make this, you got to do this, you got to do that. You need somebody who's going to be by your side to rock with you through thick and through thin. Like, did we forget about that? Like, but you got to love me enough to want that to happen. Because if not, you're not going to operate at your full capacity, and neither am I. And I need somebody who's going to challenge me and help me to grow, just like you need somebody that's going to challenge you and help you to grow. So you're not looking for no yes woman. You're not even looking for a yes man, because that doesn't challenge you. That doesn't challenge you. Think about the intangible things that you really truly want in a relationship. Take money off the table. Let's just do that just for this exercise. Take money off the table. Money is a tool. Yes, you need it, but let's take that off the table. What else do you need? And let's add in some love. We're going to sprinkle some love up in there because that's necessary. But what else do you need? So if you took away money, because that's not the issue, we good. Both working, both really good jobs, both established, both have houses or apartments, both have cars. You have all the basic stuff that you need. What do you need now? What do you need now? You need trust, Tanya said, right? But before you can even get to trust, you need to see something in them. Like they need to see something in you. And you can't abandon yourself and have a great relationship. So we know that if you're going to put trust on the table and say, I need trust, then you also have to be trustworthy, right? So, my phone is down to 15%. I play too much, right? So love, respect, honesty. Wait a minute. Love, respect, honesty, consistency. Wait a minute, y'all. I cannot find my plug. I got plug in my thing. Security, right? Okay. Hey, Siobhan, I see you. Okay, my phone was down. Hey, Perfectly Imperfect, I see you. I see you, Miss Pick Me. I see you. Yes. So if you take money off the table and you say, I need trust, so if that's important to you, then you gotta look at the character, right? You gotta look at the character of the person that you're talking to. You gotta look at the character, Tanya, for you, because I think you said trust. You gotta look at the character. Are they trustworthy? Are you trustworthy? Because think about all of the things that makes a person trustworthy. Are you honest? Right? When you think about that, right? Am I being honest about who I am? Am I telling the truth about my situation? I like to shop all the time, right? And buy things. And does that affect me financially? Like, people hide that kind of stuff. You know what I mean? They hide it. They don't want anybody to know that they got 20,000 pairs of shoes or sneakers. Because somebody knew that, they know how much money they spent on them, on the newest and latest Jordans, Nikes. They cost $500 and you're waiting online at the store to get them. You know, stuff like that. Are you being honest about where you are and you know that your money is tight and you don't have a lot of money in savings? Like, are you being honest about that? How well you treat and serve others. That's important. That speaks to character, Dr. Yolanda. But It's an inside job. All of it. And so where are you? Dr. Yolanda, thank you so much for sharing it. Sharing out. Dr. Yolanda is always sharing out the live. Just amazing. Thank you, baby. I appreciate you so much. Right? So the question is, are you being honest? Did I share out? Hey, No Writers Block. I see you. Thank you for the finger hearts. Thank you so much. I am 10 away from my goal. Thank you, Lord. Yes. It's like, so only thing I want you to do, I don't want you to lament over that. I want you to think about, are you showing up as that? And I need you to be that for yourself. Because when you're that for yourself, you're not going to accept less than that from anybody else. And that's true. Like, you're not going to tolerate any foolishness when you get into a line. When you begin to hold yourself to say, like, well, I can't get away with it, ain't nobody else get away with it either. You know what I'm saying? Everything I need, I already have. I know that's right, baby. Girl, I still have more work to do. We all do. We all do, including myself. Including myself. Like, sometimes I can be a little petty. I'm telling you, as nice as I am, y'all, I am not always, I promise. Don't think, like, I'm very nice, but listen, we all a work in progress around here. We all, like, let's be honest. Like, that is one of the things. That's why I'm always honest. It's good for the soul, but bad for the reputation, right? But confession. I'm not hiding. I'm not holding back. Because I don't want anybody to think I got it on lock when I don't. I do know what I know, though. Right? Let's just be honest. You know what you know. And you know what you know about you. More important than anything else. And when you know you know your strengths and you know your weaknesses. You know the areas that you need help in. You know the areas that you need to be confessing before God and in your prayer life. You know what it is. You know how you give it up. You know what's going on. You know you was ready to slap somebody when they cut you off in that car the other day. Like, you know you was ready to give them the business and you was yelling and screaming inside your car saying, you know what? I'm telling you, I'm finna jack somebody up. Like, you know that part of yourself. Nobody else don't know that part of you unless you confess it. And you don't got to do that on TikTok. My point is, working on yourself, rewiring the way that you're processing the things that you're doing and not doing for yourself. I saw this thing, and this is unrelated, but it's related in a real way. I saw this thing, and this lady, she was talking about finances, right? And she said that she opened up her reel saying, did you go get that latte today? Right? And if you did, go to the bank and go on your bank and transfer $7 into your bank account. Because if you got money for a latte, then you got money to pay yourself and to save your money, right? And that thing got me to thinking, like, real talk, there's some areas in all of our lives where we really need to be honest. Because there's a such thing as getting the quote-unquote things you need versus the things that you want. Your very existence and your happiness, your joy, and your peace are directly tied to what you're putting into your emotional and mental bank account and spiritual bank account. And so if you can go out and spend all of this energy, this time, and this attention on and with other folks, pouring into them, you can most certainly take the time to pour into yourself, to be honest with yourself, to be real with yourself about who you are, what you want, and what you need. Thank you for coming, Peace Butterfly. I see you. I may not be totally where I want to be, but I thank the Lord I'm not where I've been. Exactly. But you start small. But when she said that, I don't drink coffee, but I just thought it was interesting how she opened up the reel, saying, girl, I know you had to go get that latte, but if you spent $7 on that latte, then go put $7 into your bank account. Just transfer it right over from your checking right now into a savings account. And I thought that was so cute, the way that she introduced that reel. The point, though, is if you can give to everybody else, but you never give yourself, you never take 15 minutes, you never take time to sit down and read a book that you really enjoy, you never take a minute to just rest and relax and take a load off yourself mentally, emotionally, and spiritually, if you never do anything, if you never reconcile you to you, if you never reintroduce yourself to a new and improved version of yourself because you're doing the work. If you do not do that, but you can invest in everything and everybody else, we got a problem. We at 30K, yes. I'm doing my shaking my shimmy. You understand what I'm saying? We at 30K, y'all, okay? It is important that you rewire your thought processes. It is important that you rewire, that you make new neural pathways that's going to get you to the life that you deserve and desire. The old ways of thinking are not going to get you to the new life. The old ways of thinking have been what's been keeping you in bondage all of this time. The old ways and the old habits that we have are almost a knee-jerk reaction because this is our lived experiences. And it's very difficult to get away from. I'm not saying it's impossible, because that's not true. But it's important to understand that the same thoughts that got you into your last relationship are not going to be the thoughts that are going to get you to your new one, or get you new and improved so that you can, yes, it's kept me stagnant. Absolutely, Tanya. Absolutely. And you have to understand and know how very important you are, and the necessity. Thank you for speaking on it. Needed to hear. Oh, you're welcome, baby. You are so welcome. You are so welcome. It is vitally important to really, truly understand that your healing process is just the beginning. Real talk. Not. It's just the beginning. Your healing process. Now you have to rewire, because you have to figure out, how did I get here? What was I thinking about? Who was I when I first met them? What did I think about myself? What did I think was important? Why did I go out with somebody who didn't think very much of me? Why didn't I think that much of myself? And that's a real question. That's not a put down. Your thoughts towards yourself don't change as rapidly as one would think or hope because somebody walked away from you or you walked away from somebody. The process is still the process. And we do not change overnight because we did not get this way overnight. It's taken us a long time. And it's going to take us a little bit to rewire and reallocate our thoughts to the right places. And to begin to see ourselves the way that God sees us. The two things that I want you to begin to wrap your head around tonight. I didn't even get a quarter of the way. I got 10% done of what I was going to talk about tonight. This is what I want you to wrap your head around. Capacity doesn't mean compatibility. Someone can like you and still lack the emotional bandwidth to love you. Your emotional depth or standards and voice are not liabilities. They're filters to help you choose better. If you dim your own light, silence your own voice in an attempt or perform to get somebody to love you or ask somebody to love you or contort yourself to try to get somebody to love you, you are in violation of your own consciousness. Because real love from yourself or anyone else, that does not look like oppression, depression, a lack. It only looks like abundance. And anytime you have to quiet your voice or perform to be loved, you are out of balance with who you are and who you are always going to be. Yeah. Yeah. I hope that makes sense. Because you can't stay quiet for the sake of staying quiet to try to make somebody else happy to make the relationship work. It does not work like that. It doesn't. You got to stop trying to perform. You got to ask yourself some hard questions. You got to honor what the answers are. And the answers don't always feel good, my love. They don't. Sometimes the answers to the question is the reason why I know people just don't want to do the healing work. Because it will make you cry. Every time I think about all of the times that I abandoned myself for the sake of somebody else, I want to cry in that very moment. Yes, it's a violation, Moni, of your own consciousness. Yes. The fact that you are doing too much for people who wouldn't even jump over a puddle for you speaks volumes about what you think about yourself. No shade. Just relatable experiences, because I've experienced that and I know what that's like. And that is the reason why I teach on healing. Because I know, and I said this to one of the guys earlier, on my other social media platform. I said to him, he says, "Well, I see you not really writing to men anymore." I know, because when women heal, we stop making poor decisions. And you know how you say, "Oh, well," you know how I know a lot of y'all have said this. You know how you said, the side chick be, doing this and doing that, and like, no, she's gonna get back everything that she gave out or whatever. You know how people are so clear and conscious about that. Be clear and conscious about where we need to be. Be clear and be conscious about that. Because you know how people, you can always point out everything that she's doing and how she's so wrong, and she is, right? And we got that part. But part of the reason why this is, thank you for the follow, Di. Thank you. You know how we can always call it out and be like, "Oh, she's off the hook," and da da da. We can always do that. We do that. We actually do that, right? And we forget that sometimes our behavior, unfortunately, is similar. We accept less. We perform more. We act like we don't know what we see right before us. We deny our own selves for the sake of somebody else. And every single time I think about the many times that I left myself behind for the sake of somebody else loving me, it breaks my heart. It breaks my heart. So yeah. Was I any better than she? Was I? Just for the sake of saying I'm with somebody. But do they make you a priority? Do they care about how you genuinely feel? That's why I talk to my sisters on this healing journey. I love my brothers, but I believe that a rising tide lifts all boats. 32K, you rock it. Look, I'm gonna do my dance in a minute. Look, I'm getting my dance out. I'm so silly. Because I just genuinely thank you, Tanya, for the rose, my love. Right? Did you see that face, Candy, growing up? But did you see the face, though? But did you see the face? Hey, Dr. Lisa. How are you? How are you? Dr. Lisa is teaching me TikTok, y'all. Y'all have to follow her. She is absolutely amazing. You saw my face, right? I am off the hook. Y'all pray for me because I know I need Jesus. But no, seriously though. Seriously. Like, was it them? Or was it me? Love you, you're funny. I'm so silly. Candy girl, I need Jesus. Was it them? Or was it me? Did I say that my own eyes were lying? Even though they saw that they never had the capacity to love me. Look, Essence talking about cartwheel time. Essence, you play too much. We ain't doing none of that. Y'all want to gas the people up. If how the people believing I'm going to do a cartwheel, I'm not doing it. That's divination shenanigans. The most you get, Essence, is a little shake and a little shimmy. That's what you get. I'm gonna do a little bit of this, a little bit of that. This week, y'all, I gotta change over my calendar in a minute. Today is just the 28th. Next week, I'm gonna do my sub-only live. So I want y'all to be a part of that. I'm praying about something really special for y'all, for the sub-only, subscribers only. Next week, I'm gonna do it. Malika, thank you, baby. Thank you. Thank you. Aw, Malika, you are so dope and amazing, baby. I appreciate you so much. Oh my goodness. We at 34K out. Look at y'all. Y'all is rocking it out. Y'all are rocking it out. I appreciate y'all so much. Yes, I appreciate you so much. Oh my God. Yes. Thank you. Hey, Melissa. I see you, my love. How are you? Thank you for the daily heart me. Thank you, sweetheart. Yes. Thank you. Look, y'all got my face hurt. You know I've been laughing a lot because my cheeks hurt. Thank you, Essence, for the daily heart me, my love. Thank you. Yes. Y'all are so amazing. I appreciate y'all so much. I really genuinely do. Okay, so tonight I got on late because I took my nephew and his wife back to the airport because they were going back to the ATL. So, I got on a little late. I got on at 8, a little after 8. And so, thank you, Essence. Essence reached level number 7 in the fan club is what it says. I like to, wait a minute. Why is it not going? I don't know why. It ain't working. I'm trying to, celebrate you, Essence, but it wasn't. Oh, thank you for the level up, Sparks. That's so nice. But it won't let me do it. But, so I went and I did that and I dropped them at the airport and they're on their way home. I had an amazing time with them. They made me go into the city. You know, I was acting like a tourist, y'all, even though, right? So I was hanging out with my nephew and his wife, and it was amazing. And we went to South Street Seaport, which is amazing, but we were in Times Square. But then we went on the Circle Line, and that's really tourism-y. Went past the Statue of Liberty. He was dying to do that. I was like, oh, brother. You know what I'm saying? Because we did that when we was in, like, elementary school. But anywhere, he's like, oh, Auntie, let's go to the Brooklyn Museum of Art. You know, I was like, okay. Started talking about the Guggenheim and all that. And I love all of that, right? But my whole point is they ran me raggedy, and I cannot wait to get into my bed and get me some good night rest. But I had an amazing week with them. They were here from Wednesday till today. And I feel really, really blessed and amazing that my nephew came to see him, Auntie, from the ATL, from Atlanta. It was so dope. It was just so dope. Thank you for the follow, Kimberly. I see you. I see you. Yes. So I'm excited. I feel grateful. I took time. I did a lot of praying. I did all the things that I wanted to do. Tomorrow, we're going to run back this conversation because I promise y'all, when I tell y'all I did like not even a third of what I wanted to talk to y'all about tonight. I mean, I didn't even do a fifth. I might have done a fifth. 1/5. Oh, what? Like, it's less than a quarter, right? Of what I was going to talk about. And I didn't get to it. So tomorrow at 7 p.m., I'm going to be popping up. I'm going to be showing up and showing out. And yep, tomorrow at 7. And I'm going to create one of those things, one of those live things, so y'all can register and share it out with your friends. I am trying to build back up my live and get everything together. I took that week off, and it was much needed. But I want to build back up my my peoples. My peoples, everybody watching. But I am 5 away. Can I gift myself something? I am 5 away from reaching my finger heart goal. I want to reach my goal tonight before I jump off of here. Look at Malika. Look at Malika. Malika said, I'm just going to make it because Malika told me. Oh my God. Thank you. I met my life goal. Yes. And I did my flash goal. I met my flash goal. Y'all are so amazing. I will see you all tomorrow. Yeah, I love you guys. And I'm praying for y'all, and I pray that God continues to bless y'all. Y'all have a good night. All right. Love y'all. Bye.